So fight in the rain of the lion.
We don't need those charges. We've soldiers enough without sellswords.
Look at that.
Hey Cole, do you have your amulet now?
You're different. It shines on you, shimmering, sharp. You made magic from the rifts.
I thought I was learning a few tricks. I didn't realize it would change my flavor.
Everything changes you. Did you need me?
I found the amulet that Solus told us about. Would you like to try it on?
Yes, but not here. I like it here. We need someplace that can go away if it becomes sharp. What do I do with it?
You found one of the amulets. Excellent. May I? It is simple enough. You put it on, I charge it with magic, and you should be protected.
We know it's not just going to work, right? It never just works.
Have faith, Inquisitor.
What was that? Oh, what are you doing to the kid?
Stopping blood mages from binding me like the demons at Adamant. But it didn't work.
Something is interfering with the enchantment.
Something like Cole not being a demon?
I'm not certain exactly what Cole is.
Regardless of Cole's special circumstances, he remains a spirit.
Yes, a spirit who is strangely like a person.
I don't matter. Just lock away the parts of me that someone else could knot together to make me follow.
Focus on the amulet. Tell me what you feel.
Warm, soft blanket covering, but it catches tears. I'm the wrong shape. There's something. There. That way.
It appears we have something to find. I told you it never just works.
All right, kid. Get Cullen and work with him on the map to figure out where you're sensing something wrong.
Will you come with me? All of you?
Sure. All right, I get it. You like spirits. But he came into this world to be a person. Let him be one.
All I care about is making certain that the Venatori can't bind Cole.
Fair enough. But that ritual of theirs only works on demons, right?
This is not some fanciful story, child of the stone. We cannot change our nature by wishing.
You don't think?
However we deal with the problem, our next step is to track down whatever is interfering with the enchantment.
Yeah, this should get me through the month. Give me a moment. Greetings. Can I help you?
You killed me.
What? I don't even know you.
You forgot. You locked me in the dungeon in the spire, and you forgot, and I died in the dark.
The spire?
Cole, stop!
Just take it easy, kid.
He killed me. He killed me. That's why it doesn't work. He killed me, and I have to kill him back.
If he killed you, wouldn't you be dead?
Cole, this man cannot have killed you. You are a spirit. You have not even possessed a body.
A broken body, bloody, banged on the stone cell, guts gripping in the dark, dank. A captured apostate. They threw him into the dungeon in the spire at Val Royo. They forgot about him. He starved to death. I came through to help. And I couldn't. So I became him. Cole.
If Cole was an apostate, that'd make the guy we just saw a Templar. Must have been buying lyrium.
Let me kill him. I need to.
Solus?
We cannot let Cole kill the man.
I don't think anyone was going to suggest that, Chuckles.
Cole is a spirit. The death of the real Cole wounded him, perverted him from his purpose. To regain that part of himself, he must forgive.
Come on. You don't just forgive someone killing you.
You don't. A spirit can.
Varric.
The kid's angry. He needs to work through it.
A spirit does not work through emotions. It embodies them.
But he isn't a spirit, is he? He made himself human. And humans change. They get hurt. And they heal. He needs to work it out like a person.
You would alter the essence of what he is.
He did that to himself when he left the Fade. I'm just helping him survive it.
Before I decide anything, I need a clearer picture of what happened.
It seems the real Cole was an apostate, captured and taken to the Circle by Templars.
Who aren't known for their gentle nature.
As the young man starved to death in a dungeon, his pain caught the attention of a spirit, likely one of compassion.
Compassion?
An uncommon spirit, certainly, and all too fragile when its efforts to help prove to be in vain.
Alright, so here we have a very interesting choice, I must say. We can agree with Varric, let him try to help Cole sort through his emotions, and if Cole becomes, quote, human enough, then he may not need the amulet to be safe from being bound. If we go more with Solus, then we push Cole back towards being what he originally was, a spirit, and then the amulet should also function properly in not allowing him to be bound. So this is actually a pretty interesting choice because the result is going to be pretty much the same mechanically, in that Cole will not be able to be bound either way. He'll be safe from the Venatori. But the question is, how is he made safe? And so you get to push Cole for the rest of the story in either direction. You make him seem more like a mortal human being and less like a spirit, or more like a spirit and thus less like a human. And while this was one that I sat on for a little while, it wasn't nearly as heart-wrenching as the one choice with Iron Bull and the Bull's Chargers. Because no one's life really is at stake here. It's more of just how do you think Cole should continue as a character. So it's really interesting how gray this area kind of is. Again, these are the kind of decisions I really like when BioWare does. But I have to say, in this particular case, I have a little bit more sympathy for Solus's position. It's kind of even. I can really see it going either way. But the fact is, number one, Cole is a spirit, and even if he's outside of the Fade, I wouldn't say that he's still not a spirit. Just like when we entered the Fade as mortals, we did not suddenly become spirits, we remained mortals. And so, I'm not sure if trying to encourage Cole to morph in that way is something we want to do. And the other reason that I'm kind of for Solus on this is because Cole's source of his anger is what they did to that poor apostate boy who he tried to help, not actually to him. So I think his anger is becoming a little bit misdirected here. And I think if he becomes more like, if we can shift him more to what his original state was, he might not have that kind of baggage hanging on to him. Because it really wasn't his to carry. At least that's what I think. Also, I love the fact that this decision mirrors in some ways Blackwall's story as well. In both cases, you have someone who took on a new identity and now they have to deal with the consequences. Blackwall took on the identity of the Warden, and Cole has taken on this identity of this mistreated apostate boy who was abused and killed.
Cole needs to let this go.
I believe I can help. Cole, come with me.
Not possible. Not possible.
Can you feel this man's pain, Cole?
He remembers now. He knows he killed me.
No. Feel his pain. His guilt. The shame that drove him from the Templars.
Don't worry, we'll erase his records. They clap me on the shoulder, smell of oiled metal and blood. They smile like Louis did when he made me drown the kittens. Laughter bounces off the walls like a thin child's fists.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
He's hurting, Cole. And you are a spirit of compassion.
Forget.
I believe we are finished here.
You all right, kid?
Yes. He's free. We're both free.
It appears to be working. Cole should be adequately protected.
Have you talked to him since? Have you heard what he sounds like?
He sounds like a spirit.
Nonsense words like Bertrand at the end. Just need to hear the song again just for a minute. I'm all right, Varric.
What matters is his happiness. Cole, how are you feeling?
I am well. There is work. Wounded to help, hurts to heal, but the weight is off. The old chains have fallen.
You're not still angry with the man who hurt you?
No, I helped him forget. His pain no longer pulls at me. A woman with two names slips a knife in darkness to her left hand. Honey stirred into Leliana's wine. Faith, not revenge.
Could have been a person.
Possibly. Would that have made him happier, Child of the Stone?
And of course, whoever you support, the other one will kind of reminisce about what could have been. You know, it would have been the other way if we went with Varric. Solus would be rather despondent that you lost a spirit, even if you gained a mortal human being. And again, that's what I loved about that decision. It's so gray that you really just can't blame anybody for taking one route or the other. I mean, I gave my reasons for why I slightly tend to side with Solus, but, you know, I don't think there's anything wrong if you would have preferred to go with Varric's option. All right. Well, it's been long enough that we can resolve some of the other operations here. And we do need to still break Blackwall out of prison. So back to the war table. Let's see. What do we have on Lord Otranto? from the biannual compendium of the diverse and worthy families of the nation of Antiva. The greatest recent scandal in the Otranto's history is when they cheated the terrazas of several of their holdings. It is not the act itself that drew attention, but that it was clumsily done. Blood was spilled among both families in the ensuing arguments about this faux pas, and it has remained a bitter moment between the two houses. Although the Otrantos have buried the details, even mentioning the name terraza in their presence is ill-advised. Okay. And someone else was going to report, weren't they? Oh, I guess not. Okay, well, we have Liliana free. So now we can bust out Blackwall. Liliana informs me that your contacts in the underworld could aid in having Raynor released from prison. This route would conveniently mask the Inquisition's involvement. Cullen. An offer whispered in the right circles. A dozen factions vying for our favor. We'll see who desires it most. Sounds like we're going to outsource this.
Let's see what we have.
Alright. We still need to speak with Cullen. We actually forgot to follow up last time we were here at Skyhold about Samson, so I want to do that now. So up the stairs we go. I know I spend a whole lot of time talking with people in Skyhold, but I have to admit that it's always been my more preferred parts of Dragon Age as opposed to all the combat, is all of the conversations, the character arcs, the relationships between the characters. So that's why I spend so much time here. Of course, you know, you're free to skip it if it's a bit too much, but this is what I really like about Dragon Age. Let's talk Samson, Cullen.
I wanted to thank you. When you came to see me, if there's anything... This sounded much better in my head.
I trust you're feeling better?
Yes.
Is it always that bad?
The pain comes and goes. Sometimes I feel as if I'm back there. I should not have pushed myself so far that day.
I'm just glad you're all right.
I am. I've never told anyone what truly happened to me at Ferelden's Circle. I was... not myself after that. I was angry. For years, that anger blinded me. I'm not proud of the man that made me. Now I can put some distance between myself and everything that happened. It's a start.
The past isn't always pleasant. Sometimes you have to let go and move on.
I can't forget what happened, but it led me here. I can make that mean something. Anyway, I meant to thank you, not trouble you further. You've enough to worry about. How are you holding up?
I've met good people here. Knowing they have my back, it helps.
You certainly keep interesting company. I suppose I do as well.
Sounds like he's made it through the worst of the lyrium withdrawal symptoms, which is good. Maybe this will be a turning point for him then. And it should hopefully serve as an inspiration to any other former Templars in the Inquisition who would like to break their addiction to lyrium. Alright, now that we should be able to follow up on Samson.
No red lyrium, no allies, and soon Samson will have no armor, I hope.
You hope?
Dagner's started work on her red lyrium samples, but she needs more details on the armor. We found orders in the mine. They mention Maddox, a name I did not expect to hear.
Samson's letter said something about taking over as the vessel.
Perhaps it's a rank among the Red Templars. It could be a title from ancient to Vinter. Or it's some other role Corypheus has planned for Samson, and Maddox is part of it.
Did he serve with you and Samson in Kirkwall?
Maddox was a mage in Kirkwall's circle. Samson smuggled letters between him and his sweetheart. Eventually, Samson was caught. That's why he was cast out of the Order. Maddox was made tranquil and became a skilled craftsman of magical items. Samson must have rescued him.
I can't believe they made a man tranquil over a few love letters.
The official charge was corrupting the moral integrity of a Templar. Knight Commander Meredith wielded the brand for far lesser offenses, believe me.
Why would Maddox need saving?
When the mages rebelled in Kirkwall, the worst battles took place at the gallows in the circle itself. I thought Maddox had died in the fighting, or was eking out a living on the streets. A hard fate for a tranquil in Kirkwall. Samson must have found him, taken him in.
Perhaps there's something left of the man Samson used to be.
Or he's shrewd enough to know an extraordinary resource. It seems Maddox built Samson's armor for him, and maintains it still. Tranquil and Kirkwall needed rare and expensive supplies for their enchantments. Supplies we can trace. I can have our men kick down some doors, Inquisitor. Samson's armor might lead us right to his stronghold.
Yep, and so we have that new operation available. I actually had forgotten how many steps this quest had. All right. Well, in that case, and Liliana is done with her operation, so let's zip back over to the war room here. All these steps do pay off in the next story mission, though, so we're not doing this in vain as far as all the Samson stuff goes. Alright, Liliana, tell me what you got. Rainier was brought to the Skyhold gates under cover of darkness. Best not to ask how. Alright, so I think we can go and sit on the seat of judgment then, when we're ready. Yeah, we have tracked down Samson, although I think that's something that only Cullen can do, so we're going to have to wait till he's done with his mission. And I'm going to put Liliana... Let's see. How about on this one? A hole in the surfacer's precious sky, not our concern, but the thing that did it. If this Magister shit really brought the Blight and the Darkspawn, we're no friend of that. Follow these instructions and you'll catch your enemy sleeping. Tell your soldiers not to leave the main tunnel. That's your only warning. Linthaswam Kal Sharak. The letter ends with a map to the cave system and a number of troops that can pass. They hold their secrets dear. Do as they say, no more, no less. These were the forces that avenged themselves on Corypheus for taking dwarven slaves, I believe.
Let's see what we have.
Hopefully we get some interesting stuff out of that. But now it's time to judge Blackwall. Or Raynor, if he prefers now. We'll have to find out.
For judgment this day, Inquisitor, I must present Captain Tom Rainier, formerly known to us as Warden Blackwall. His crimes... well, you are aware of his crimes. The decision of what to do with him is yours.
I didn't think this would be easy, but it's harder than I thought.
Another thing to regret. Using your ties to the underworld to free me. You're a criminal, same as me. The world will learn how you've used your influence. They'll know the Inquisition is corrupt.
I wish there'd been another way, but my options were limited.
You could have left me there. I accepted my punishment. I was ready for all this to end. Why would you stop it? What becomes of me now?
All right. So you can let him go and say that, you know, from now on, the rest of your life is pretty much parole. If you're a very harsh Inquisitor, you can keep him as, you know, basically a servant, I guess, or a mercenary. I'm not sure. But obviously we're not going to do that. That's really cruel. But the thing is, he told us that he had indeed been intended towards the joining by the original Warden Blackwall. And it was only because of the Darkspawn attack that he's not a Warden right now. And to be fair, it is precedent for the Grey Wardens to take in many people who are condemned for some kind of crimes. So this would actually be pretty much par for the course for Grey Wardens as far as a potential recruit. And he certainly has the training and the will for it, I would say. So, once the immediate crisis of Corypheus is over, he will officially join the Grey Wardens, if he can survive the joining.
Blackwall intended you join the Wardens. I will let them decide your fate. But only when Corypheus is dead. For now, Tom Rainier, the Inquisition needs you.
As you command.
Blackwall gave you the chance to atone through action, not merely punishment. I find I can do no less.
I am grateful for this, Inquisitor. And I will serve for as long as I can.
Probably as best as we could expect, given the circumstances. So that concludes Blackwall's personal quest. And now, while we were judging him, we got word that Cullen is now available. So let's see if we can do that next part of the Samson quest. The timing for these operations completing has actually been pretty good. Usually I have to make cuts because of the amount of time it takes to finish them. And since it all happens in real time. Mauvrin and his clan have entered the Silent Plains intending to settle where no claims currently exist. They were exceptionally difficult to track once they left the Imperial Highway, and we have no word on their current location. Oh. So I guess that's left kind of open-ended as to where those Avar ended up. Okay. Track down Samson. Using Maddox as a lead, Cullen has begun to hunt down anyone providing equipment and supplies that Maddox might need for Samson's armor. Lyrium, reagents, dwarven tools, and so on. Cullen is arranging patrols along roads and bridges for any sign of Samson's forces, trading and moving equipment. I can have the patrols leave right away. This should lead to Samson's headquarters.
To work?
So we will set that up. While that is going on, I believe we just have one more mission that I really like to finish before we continue on with the main story. And that, of course, is going to be Josephine's. And this is also the last romance quest for her of the two that we have. So first thing we need to do is speak with messengers down in the courtyard. So let's head down now. Of course, we're all setting this all up behind Josephine's back. So she may not be thrilled when she finds out.
Your worship, may I deliver a message from Lord Adorno Cielo Trantor Ventiva? His lordship accepts your request for a duel for the affection of Lady Montelier. He awaits your pleasure in Val Royeaux.
No protests. No outrage that I'm trying to steal Josephine from him.
Quite the contrary, Inquisitor. Lord Trantor is greatly looking forward to his first duel of the month. May you enjoy safe passage to Val Royeaux, your worship.
His first duel of the month? Uh-oh.
The soldiers make me nervous. Sitting around here, tempers get
Sounds
shot
like we're
and
fighting against a professional.
I saw one soldier.
This may not be pretty. Alright, so off to Val Royeaux we go. And I don't think it actually matters who we take with us. So, just for fun, I'll take Cole, Dorian, and Cassandra.
I am Lord Otranto Aventiva, rightfully betrothed of Lady Josephine Montelier. Songs of your exploits have spread to my city, Inquisitor. It's humbling to make your acquaintance. It is a pity it will not last longer. Before we duel, I trust you find the weapon to your satisfaction.
Am I not allowed to pick my means of defense?
Ha! Aside from the fact that your mage fire may put me at a disadvantage, I am the wounded party in this duel. Tradition dictates that I select our weapons. Of course, if you fear you might be clumsy with such a refined instrument, there is no shame in a forfeit.
Rapiers will do, if you're out of your depth with a more substantial weapon.
Very good. Let us begin. An admirable start, Inquisitor. Perhaps House Trevelyan isn't the obscure backwater I've heard it to be. I'm glad Lady Montelier isn't here, exquisite as I've heard her appearance to be. Cutting you down in front of Josephine would have given a poor first impression of House Otranto to my bride.
Strange. I would think the Otrantos already have enough blood on their hands after cheating the Tarazzas.
Who told you? You dare to bring up that slander here? Inquisitor, I will personally...
Stop! Josephine!
Lady Montelier, what a pleasure to...
What are you doing?
Lord Otranto and I are settling our differences about your betrothal.
That's not your decision. The Inquisition needs you. I need you. Yet you threw yourself into danger. Why do this? Why risk everything we've built? Why risk your life?
Because I love you.
You do?
She does?
Apparently everyone is shocked.
And I mean it. Every word.
I love you too.
Well fought.
Lord Otranto.
I'd assumed your liaison with the Inquisitor was an affair of passion or convenience, Lady Montilyet. But I'm not fool enough to stand in the way of true affection. The Otrantos regretfully withdraw the terms of our betrothal.
Thank you.
Do not thank me. I know when I'm outmatched.
I can't imagine a better ending. But wouldn't you be impressed by a dueling scar?
My dearest lady, I love you precisely the way you are. Just do kiss me again. I can't stop thinking about your duel in Val Royeaux. Running into the middle of the crowd, the noise, the swords flashing. I was so worried for you, but at the same time, well, it was the most exciting thing I've seen in ages.
You do remember what this Inquisition has been doing, don't you?
Allow me to correct myself. The most exciting thing I have seen that didn't threaten to stop my heart. You know, when I first laid eyes on you back at Haven, I hadn't an inkling we'd become so close.
At least tell me your breath was stolen away by my incredible beauty.
You are too much. These moments seem so dear, especially given your greater calling. Sometimes I must remind myself that I'm required to share you with the rest of the world.
The world may want my time, Josephine, but you have my heart.
Then I count myself happy, beyond compare.
It was nice to be able to see that play out. As I mentioned before, I hadn't actually gone through Josephine's romance before. Now, that is the last romance quest. However, it's not the last beat when it comes to going through a romance in this game. All right. Now, I think all that's left is just before dawn. And then we'll be able to move on. So, I'll go ahead and do a quick cut here, and when we come back, the operation should be completed, and we can get on with the finishing up the Samson quest. All right, and the operation is complete. Inquisitor, we tracked Samson's remaining Red Templars escorting a supply caravan to a hidden location in the wilderness. It could be his headquarters. I expect verification before the hour is over. I've already begun preparing a squadron of soldiers to accompany us. Allow me to debrief you in person when your duties permit, Commander Cullen. So now we should be able to just talk to Cullen, and he should take us where we need to go. So that means back up on the ramparts we must go. Oh, actually, probably this one might go a little bit faster. I think Cullen's office is just this one here. Yep. What's the plan, Cullen?
What have you found?
We have him, Inquisitor. We found Samson's lair. My duties usually keep me here, but for Samson, I'll make an exception.
I'm looking forward to fighting by your side, Commander.
Likewise, Inquisitor. We'll depart at your leave.
Alright, so now
He may have been transferred to another circle. I know it isn't much to go on.
I will let Sister Leliana know.
Wait, I may have a few more names.
It should appear on the map now. So let's just double check. Shrine of Dumont. Yes, here we go. The one-shot dungeon here. Alright, Cullen is coming with us, so we'll take Cassandra as well. And let's see. Dealing with Templars. Let's take Vivian and Varric.
This is it. The heart of Samson's command.
I don't see him anywhere, or hear him.
Nor I. Maker, tell me he hasn't fled.
And this is the only time, I think, that you can actually have Cullen fighting with you. Although, similar to Liliana, when he's in your party, you can't control him. He will always be AI. These enemies have been scaled to our level, so they're not going to be nearly as much of a pushover as they were in the last mission with Cassandra. But I still think it shouldn't be nearly as much of a challenge as the Descent was. Clear the top rung there. You may notice that the meteor ability that I have down on my number 8 control panel there isn't lit up even when I have plenty of mana. And the reason is that some of the abilities that you get when you choose a specialization work just like your anchor abilities and will only be able to be turned on when your focus meter is all the way up. No, ugly. It's a behemoth. Not nearly as much of a challenge as when the first one showed up all those many missions ago.
This place is already half destroyed.
Samson must have ordered his Templars to sack his headquarters so we couldn't.
Sorry, Curly. Someone tipped off Samson you were coming.
I think you're right. Still, jealous.
Well, if Samson was tipped off, then I very much doubt he's probably here. So we'll have to see who got left manning the fortress here when we showed up. Couple more enemies on that side. Shouldn't take too long to dispatch them here. Especially like Cullen's cutting through them all pretty effectively. Not only is Cullen completely AI controlled, but I think whenever your advisors do happen to be in your party, they are completely immune from death. That said, if all your other party members die, you still have to start from the last save game. So you can't just rely on them to bail you out. This is called the Temple of Dumont. Just a quick trivia here. Dumont was the first in the pantheon of the old gods. He was the god of... I think he was the god of dreams? I think. And his corruption was responsible for the very first blight. to ever trouble Thedas. And I think the first blight was the most, or the largest one that has ever occurred. Partly because there were no Grey Wardens at the time to fend it off. They were actually born as a result, their order was, as a result of the First Blight. And the First Blight, I think, was also the one responsible for destroying the Dwarven Empire. But before all of that happened, in ancient Aventur, Dumont was probably the most revered of all the old gods. And that's why Corypheus used to be his disciple.
Hello, Inquisitor.
You know me?
It's Maddox, Samson's Tranquil. Something's wrong. I'll send for the healers.
That would be a waste, Knight Captain Cullen. I drank my entire supply of Blightcap essence. It won't be long now.
We only wanted to ask you questions, Maddox.
Yes. That is what I could not allow. I destroyed the camp with fire. We all agreed it was best. Our deaths ensured Samson had time to escape.
You threw your lives away? For Samson? Why?
Samson saved me even before he needed me. He gave me purpose again. I wanted to help.
We should check the camp. Maddox may have missed something.
Let's look around.
Time to search, then. It's somewhat strange that he doesn't have a mark on his forehead. Usually that's what happens after someone is made tranquil.
Lyrium bottles, licked clean.
Drinking it, wearing it, growing it. You can't say Samson isn't committed.
How much red lyrium is Samson taking? His resistance must be extraordinary. Samson left a message for me.
What does it say?
Drink enough lyrium and its song reveals the truth. The chantry used does, you're fighting the wrong battle. Corypheus chose me as his general and his vessel of power, and other such nonsense. Does he think I'll understand? What does he know?
Something else over here. Tools.
This must have been Maddox's room.
The fire couldn't destroy these entirely, whatever they are.
Similar implements for forging with lyrium. None this advanced.
Tranquil often design their own tools. Dagna should be able to make sense of them. If Maddox used these to make Samson's armor, she could use them to unmake it. We have him. The Red Lyrium deposits are being destroyed, and we've cut the Red Templars down to the core. It's a pity Maddox thought his sacrifice was the only answer. But that leaves Samson with a severely curtailed army, and enchanted army he can't maintain. You did it.
We both fought to make this happen. Don't sell yourself short.
Well, thank you. But my work's not done yet. We're getting recruits by the hour. There's more than a few ex-Templars among them. We've struck a blow and given people hope. This is a true victory.
Inquisitor, I finished it. Are you talking? Sorry. Have it anyhow.
You mean this rune?
It's not just any rune. I made it with red lyrium and what's left of poor Maddox's tools. The rune acts on the median fissures of lyrium to... It'll destroy Samson's armor. He'll be powerless.
We'll cut Corypheus off from his most powerful officer.
Maddox covered Samson's tracks thoroughly. But wherever Samson's retreated, we'll find him. Your army stands ready, Inquisitor. For Samson, for Corypheus, for whatever you command.
All right. Yep, we are good. It's been a while, but I think we can finally move on to the next big push as far as the story goes. So when we come back, fellow adventurers, we will be heading off to some of the more ancient elven ruins. Our quest will be both to prevent Corypheus from getting another Illuvion and thus getting close enough to the Fade to enter physically, and just in general to see if we can stop his kind of his plans once and for all. Maybe if we can intercept him, we can actually destroy him. So, we'll start that in the next video. Until next time, fellow adventurers, take care.